Hello, hello. How's everybody doing out there? Peasant Chat, that's right. Coming at you on a Sunday, Peasant Chat, 9:30 a.m. to 11, an hour and a half of talking shit with poor people that used to not be able to afford super chats. But now things are calm, things are good, so now we talk to all of the peasants. Today, what we're going to talk about is Chevy releases probably the most ridiculous ICE car ever built. Now, the reason I say ICE car is because you and I are in agreement that electric cars are faster, right? Like, there's no doubt about that. I'm sorry, quicker. There's no doubt about that, all right? We're talking about like a sedan that goes 880 in the quarter mile and has the ability to go well over 200 is quicker, right? Like, let's make no mistakes here. The C8 Zr-1 is the best ICE car, seemingly, that has ever been built, running 9.5 in the quarter mile, over 220 miles an hour top speed. And it is being put up against Ferrari like SF90s and Revuelto Lamborghinis. They're not even trying to compare it to anything American because, let's be honest, nothing that America makes holds a candle to the performance of the C8 Zr-1, which begs the question, is the C8 Zr-1 quicker around the Nürburgring than the Mustang GTD? And based on everything I've seen, I can't imagine why it's not there or quicker, and it is built by GM Chevrolet themselves, not an aftermarket company that has been subcontracted to build you the race car. So today we'll talk about the video that Haggerty released on the C8 Zr-1. Apparently the embargo is over. Everyone and their mother released their Zr-1 videos on Friday, so everyone is trying to work out the specs. So it's an interesting thing to talk about today. Also, we'll talk about what the channel is doing in terms of future stuff. I've tried for 2 weeks to put out content like videos, shorts, and I only cut back on one live stream a week, Thursday. And yes, the views are up. The views are up. The minutes watched are down. The subscribers are up. So views are up. Subscribers are up. Minutes watched are down. And now I know exactly what makes money, for me at least, on YouTube. Minutes watched, not views. So I can have 50,000 views, a video, and I make more money if you watch for longer. So live streams are probably going to be coming back to Thursday live stream, but I'm going to maintain the videos because that's the way to get views and subscribers. But the money is in the minutes watched. We'll talk about that and many more things, but not before Mr. Bill O'Reilly says hello to the people out there.
We'll do it live.
Okay.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Fucking thing sucks.
It does suck. Pmas doesn't suck though. It's still to this day, the best car intake that you can put in your Mustang or even a swap vehicle. If you have a swap vehicle, buy the Pmas housing, build a shield, and you will have a way better chance of a better driving vehicle than if you were to make your own or anything else. Pmas, Nick James, Pmas. You can get your Pmas Culture intake at D&F Performance, D&F-Performance.com. D&F Performance, the best online parts house. They support the show. They give me a monthly nut, and I like that. I like that very much. So get all of your parts there. Apparently, Ford isn't shipping fuel systems anymore, so who the fuck knows what's going to happen going forward with that. They seem to be like an 8-week back order. D&F Performance! Parts Farm, PartsFarm.com. They don't have a back order on anything. If it's on the lot and it's on their website, they will break it down and ship it to you, whether it's a cranker pallet, a motor, a rolling chassis, a panel, a wheel and tire combo, you name it, used, late model, specifically Mustang parts at PartsFarm.com. 2 Auto Solution, Rami's Auto Solution. He's getting a couple of fast cars down there. He actually worked on a dark horse, but nobody cares because it's untunable. But hey, if you want to be a Puerto Rican and be on the up and up on Mustang stuff, you got to go to 2 Auto Solution and Belek Industries. He's going 100 miles an hour on a boat. 100 miles an hour on a boat. So buy some Belek wheels so he can go 120 miles an hour on the boat. And everything can be, everyone will be happy. And as always, richprince.com/YDBT. Apparently, we had great sales on the Save the Manuals run of t-shirts. We got S197 Save the Manual shirt. We got S550 Gen 2, S550 Gen 3, and GT350 Save the Manual shirts in all these wonderful colors. We also have hats, YDBT hats, Amory hats, Section 8 shirts, flat and curved Dolo and YDBT. We got hoodies, 1320 Didios, F1320, and all the the sweaters. It is raining like a motherfucker right now, so when I look at the hoodies, I'm like, my goodness. But guys, shout out to richprince.com for providing the fans and the followers some actual something tangible, something to hold in your hands so that you can actually support the show and have something. Wesley Stewart, Joe Swish, Coyote, Nick, B. Lavesh, Monty 540, 5-Ho, Frank Donahue, Z33, Camzilla, Clint Stroke, JC3, fucking Shine Box in the house, Yusuf, Clean 93 GT, Coyote Kelly, Jose Sanchez, RoboSal, Craig Walls, Billet Noonan. I would fly up just to drive your S351. You don't have to have Porsches in your garage. By the way, this channel apparently doesn't give two shits about Porsches, which I suspected. Not because it's a bad car. It's because it's just not our wheelhouse. You know what I mean? Like, we care more about Fox bodies, American muscle, junk, S351s, and Coyote stuff. Not necessarily high-end German stuff. So no BMWs on this channel, and apparently no Porsches on the channel. AJ, Mark Christensen, Dixon, Andy Ali, D, Rock Fox, TMP, Rookie, Minibag Madman, JD Swag, Minibag again, Joe Swish, Bowens Motorsports, Atomic Wedgie. It's pretty good. Blake Bailey, Peter Chiquito, CPR, Andrew, Arturo Mosillo, Clickflip, it's just a spick. Seniors built, rear end, says good morning. Joe Swish, Mother Trucker, JD Bruce, Ian Martha. Apparently he works for True Forged or something, because he changed his name from like Gen 3 Ian to Z06 Ian to, 3 Valve Ian. Now he's Ian Forged. So apparently you can get your forged wheels from him. Reverend Racing, Corporate Cow, Matt Class, ALACV, Joe, Big Daddy, RoboStyle, 94 GT4, Headgames, Motorworks. Remember, guys, I think today's the last day of getting head from Headgames Motorworks. So hopefully he can chime in with the people here. So let's talk about the Haggerty video. They've been really good about not censoring the shit that I put out there. But on Friday, Haggerty put out just a movie. The amount of work of editing, getting these cars together, the nuts and bolts, the mechanics of getting this video done was a production from hell. So shout out to them for a 35-minute wonderful video. And of course, what I like to highlight is none of the minutia, none of the bullshit. I like to highlight the drag race because we are American and we give a fuck about a drag race. Now understand this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you specs. First of all, we're going to give you specs of the cars that they put the car up against. So the first car is a Lamborghini Revuelto, which is like how you make your eggs. The Lamborghini Revuelto plug-in hybrid. So it is all-wheel drive. A total output of 1,001 horsepower combined between the engine and the electric motors. Over 217 miles an hour. 0 to 60, 2.5 seconds, 8-speed dual clutch automatic. They also put it up against an SF90 Ferrari, a combined output of 986 horsepower, 8-speed dual clutch, 2.5 seconds to 60, 211 miles an hour. Now you notice one thing very common that they don't do on hypercars, or they don't show you the quarter mile time. See, in America, the only country that matters, quarter mile time is everything, even eighth mile time. But they show you top speed of the Revuelto, 217, the top speed of the SF90, which is 211. And let's just talk about the 296, which is the most modern version of the Ferrari now. It's 819 horsepower, 9.7 in the quarter. So they actually show a quarter mile time on the 296 and 0 to 60, 2.4. Top speed of 205. Then you got this motherfucking, kick your dick in Zr-1. 1,064 horsepower, 800 pound-feet of torque, 2.2 to 60, 233 top speed, 9.5 at 149, pump gas, twin turbo, rear wheel drive. All the others are hybrid all-wheel drive. This C8 Zr-1 at 3,900 pounds, 1,064 horse, is quicker, faster than all-wheel drive electric hybrid hypercars. So, I hate to do this, but if you're a Chevy guy that dislikes the C8 platform, you are just a hater. Because the metrics don't lie. This platform is good. Engine over the wheels that drive it, quicker to 60 than all-wheel drive comparable vehicles, quicker to the quarter, and better or faster top mile an hour, or top speed. So let's look at a drag race, and we'll talk about the drag race. Okay, there is just so much to pull apart in that video, so we're just going to do it live. First of all, when you can stop the pull of a car, that tells you so much about the power you are making. Have you ever been on the highway and you let someone have the hit, and then when you hit it, he gets out, but then he immediately stops pulling? Now, unless he misses a shift, there's not much else that can keep you from, doing that. Or you make gobs more power at that part than he does. Boom. It's out, right? Lambo's out. But for the very observant person that has raced a lot, the moment the Zr-1 stops its pull, I went, uh-oh. Right there. Right there. Like, it wasn't out by a football field. The Zr-1 hooked up and game on. There's a level right there. So I don't know if they do this for dramatic effect, and maybe it's part of the filming, but this looks to be legit. The all-wheel drive Lambo is out by a car and a half. The Corvette absolutely rapes its ass in like the 60 to 130. So to pull on a car that was out a car is massive. It's going 104. Look at the dash. So the 60 to 130, for a lot of you guys that don't understand why that number is so important, especially on draggy, it's because that's where the meat of racing happens. The 60 foot is going to always go towards the lighter car, but power is 60 to 130. Oh my God, listen to that thing. Catching up. Now, this scene, I don't know if it's real, but the Corvette passed him as if he was standing still. That is that. Catching up. That is dumb. Okay, and I wondered if that's real, but then when you look at the Lamborghini rear view mirror, look at the Lamborghini rear view mirror. Sorry, the side view mirror. Oh my God, listen to that thing. Okay, nothing, right? Look at right here, right over here where I'm circling, right? Then this big yellow blob rolls up on him. Catching up. Jesus. Okay, so that is a very, very telling video. Not only the fact that the Corvette is only rear wheel drive, beating in the quarter mile two all-wheel drive hybrids. So that begs the question, what the fuck is the Zr-1? What the fuck is the Zr-1 gonna do? Like, what is the Zr-1 going to do? Because the Zr-1 is going to have a better 60 foot, and this power output, but it will be heavier because of the battery, because of the E-Ray infrastructure, just like I've been telling you sons of bitches for the longest time, that the E-Ray is the better one of the lower class Corvettes. Stingray, Z06 E-Ray, E-Ray. And that is a big faux pas, I think, on Chevy's part, because the only thing the Z06 has over the E-Ray is the sound. That's it. That's all the Z06 has over the E-Ray. The sound. It's not quicker. It's probably faster in like top speed, but nobody does top speed runs really. And light to light, I would rather have the E-Ray nonstop. So it'll be very interesting to see what comes of the Zora. But the fact that the Zr-1 is a mid 9 second car, 230 plus miles an hour on pump gas, twin turbo, dual overhead cam. Sorry guys, the guys that thought pushrod was superior, if it was, it would be in the Zr-1. So a lot of you guys that push that LSLT, even though this is like an LT7 or whatever naming structure, it's dual overhead cam. And I remember for a long time, YOLO Douchebag was saying, wait until Chevy goes dual overhead cam. All of a sudden, Chevy guys will be singing the praises of dual overhead cam, where it used to be more chains, less brains, or whatever the fuck missing tooth having motherfuckers would say. And I'm just like, well, here you go. The best car Chevy could build had to have a dual overhead cam, twin independent variable cam timing, twin turbo, rear engine, rear drive setup. So I think it's insanely impressive, and it shows what the future of American performance is. Mustang now cannot be compared to anything Corvette. Mustang has to be compared to stuff that's extinct. And Corvette is aiming towards the hypercar stuff. And I'm like kind of blown away by it, because Chevy guys that hated the Corvette now have to love it, but at the same time, like, I don't know, like hold their noses because it's a dual overhead cam motor. So the bragging that's going on online, the shit talking, like Zr-1 is king, but how come it didn't do it with a pushrod motor? I think it's interesting. And before you guys start saying Hennessy, shut the fuck up. Hennessy's not a car company. Hennessy is literally, from what I hear, a company that is only loved by Saudi Arabians because they don't know what actually happens there. So did you see the video and go, oh my God, how the hell is the GTD even comparable? Like, the GTD looks like a piece of junk compared to the Zr-1 based on the videos that I've seen. Car and Driver, Motor Trend, Haggerty, all these people, Top Gear, all these people are like, holy shit, this car's ridiculous. And the GTD still hasn't been released. The only thing it can claim is a 6-second Nürburgring time, and it is built by Multimatic, not Ford. So I think the Zr-1 is pretty badass. And what they did in that video, they actually compared all the generation Zr-1s up against their specific competition at the time. And apparently the C7 Zr-1 is the worst of the bunch. But I think their comparison is stock. We all know that the C7 Zr-1 with some mods and bolt-ons is an 8-second quarter-mile car. We all know that the C7 Zr-1 with bolt-ons and sticky rubber, it is a deadly roll car. So the Haggerty videos have to be taken with a grain of salt. So what do you guys think? Do you think the Zr-1 is king of the hill when it comes to ICE cars? Because let's be honest, electric cars are quicker. It's a matter of fact. And do you now laugh at the GTD's, I guess, failed attempt to make waves when the Zr-1 just stomps the GTD's dick in all available metrics? And we will see if Chevy takes it to the Nürburgring and runs a quicker time than the GTD. It is going to be I'm going to laugh, because I am now laughing at the demise of Ford. I am now laughing at how the company came to be. They had no competition in the muscle car world, and they decided to lock their computers down. They decided to make a meh car. The S650 is the worst selling Mustang in history. I'm not sure if the 2025 second quarter earnings are out yet, but it'll be probably July until we hear about the second quarter earnings, and it'll be really interesting to see if it is still under the 2024's sales metrics. Se acabó el party, papa. GTD is gay. It's not even a prepped drag strip. The Zr-1 will be faster, but will have diminishing returns compared to the Zr-1. So I think a rear-wheel drive only Zr-1 non-Zora is the better buy because, okay, if you can, there are 3 versions of the Zr-1s apparently. A non-big wing version. Let's be honest, if you're going to buy a Zr-1, for looks, you want the big wang. They have like a performance package. Think of it as a base, PP1 and PP2, where it's like base, and then you got PP1 with like aero and some other stuff, and then you got everything, the brakes, the tires, the wheels, like they got different bolt patterns on the wheels, front and rear, because of the power, whatever the fuck they want to call it. So they have bigger bolt pattern on the rears and more aero. But for my money, right, if I don't care about how everyone looks, I want the pared down bitch ass version. I just want the power. Give me the power and the least amount of amenities. I think the Zr-1 is a 60 to 130 monster, a 9-second pump gas car you can drive from here to California and back and get decent miles per gallon. Handles, stops, does it all. I think it could be one of those cars that you, as a high-end car owner, again, you're not going to get a gun put to your head and say, which one would you rather buy, the Porsche, the Turbo S, the Ferrari? No, you're going to go, I want them all if you're at that level. But if you only had to buy one, god damn it, it's tough to beat the Zr-1. Lou Fernanda says, Lou reporting live, love seeing you do your thing. Probably doesn't know what they're entering into, but nice to see them here. No one does top speed runs. People losing in a roll race will beg to differ, Alex. Yes. Yeah, you're right. People that lose in a race do top speed runs. Because they're like, I'm not going to let off until they're fucking gone. Like, these people are gone. You lost. They already let off, and you stay in it for pride. I've seen that happen. Do the Ricer flyby. Yeah, Martha says, C701 looks amazing, though. I don't like how the C701 looks, no offense. Zr-1 has TI beat the GT2? Did you mean 2? Third coach Cody says, when you drive by Hennessy, it looks like a used parking lot full of Raptor Bronco junk. They don't test those cars expecting people just to drag race, Alex. But you're right. The C7, Z06, and Zr-1 were borderline undrivable on the road course. The C7, Z06, and Zr-1, right. When you look at the metrics of what the Zr-1 brought to the table, that's when they realized we got to go rear engine because it's $100,000 car and people are buying Turbo S's and other cars that are rear wheel drive, mid-engine, rear wheel drive. I guess mid is like in front of the rear axle, whatever. Nothing hangs off the back. No humbolki, carajo. But at the end of the day, that's where the industry was going. So they're like, if we're going to make a rear wheel drive car, the engine has to be on top of the drive wheels. And the layout, you can put look, apparently, and I'm not going to say I knew so much, but I showed you guys a while back the Zr-1 turbo manifolds. Manifolds. I don't think it's on this email. I think it's in the other email. Yep, I have the other email. So the fact that they were shown to me a year in advance, I think it set waves off. I think it set waves off on forums and stuff because all of a sudden people were like, wait, how the fuck did this guy get, turbo manifold stuff? Let me download the picture so I don't give away who gave it to me. That'd be interesting if I just like, oh, there's the guy's email. So about a year ago, I released these photos, or this photo, and it's basically the turbo CAD drawing for the C8 Zr-1. This is it. And people were like, what's the big deal? The fact of the matter is these turbos were massive and huge. And I actually showed you the actual manifold themselves. I'm not going to show you those pictures again because they're kind of hard to find. But now that the car is out, you don't need to see me post pictures of these manifolds. But I got pictures of this stuff when it was being, they were in pre-production and doing some testing. But apparently, look, Chevy was like, we can't fit the turbo size we want in the layout that we want on a front engine car. But in the rear, we can fit anything we want. We have all the weight of that stuff over the drive wheels. We have minimal drivetrain loss. Let's go this way. And the C8 was born. Now, a lot of people that are traditionalists were just like, oh my God, oh, it's fucking gay, you know? And I'm like, why is it gay? Just because it doesn't have a big, stupid, honking blower over the hood or this thing is laid out to be a world beater. Like, I guarantee us a base C8, I don't know what they're called. What is the most hoe-ass base C8 there is? I guarantee a base C8 will beat the ever-living shit out of a, Z06 around the road course. Right? So you get yourself a LS7 Z06, the C6 Z06, or even, whoa, that was crazy lightning, or a C7 Z06, and I'll put my money on a base bitch-ass C8 to beat the shit out of them. Maybe not in a roll, but in terms of, that is actually cool. We're in our rainy season, and it is like lightning. I guarantee one of those palm trees is going to get zapped by that motherfucker. But anyway, I would rather have a C8. The C8 is set up for the future. And once I saw the E-Ray, I went, that's the one. That's the one. The all-wheel drive, bitch. Come on. It wasn't even turned on, Carlito. I can't walk. I can't hump. I don't have that, do I? Stay in them guts, hit them up, Indian lightning abort eating, nope. Do it live, slurping, slurping. Shitster sponsored diapers, man.
What I got fucking diapers with? Fucking diapers, man.
Diapers.
I got fucking diapers. I shit my pants every day. I can't walk. I can't hump.
You know. The Stingray will and it set itself up for the future. So a lot of people were not happy with it because maybe it's new and it's good. It's a car set up for the future. Stay with your C7 shit and run that stuff. But that is a straight line stuff. This car can probably do it all. And I think the E-Ray is a perfect version of what the future can look like. That's why I have been saying since the beginning of fucking time, Ford has to allow the all-wheel drive hybrid platform to live in the Mustang. But no, they gave you a fucking electric SUV. They took the tuning away from 24 and up, and they piss in your face and they piss on you and call it rain. Here you go. Well, that's piss. No, it's rain. Fuck you. You're giving us junk. And you wonder why people like me who live and die and breathe Mustang are looking at other platforms. Hell, I bought myself a fucking Zr-1 because I'm like, right, let me get into something else because Ford ain't offering shit. Stingray. Wonder if you can swap the LT7 into a base C8. See, now you're talking crazy. You're starting to get like turvy. You're wondering if you can put the Zr-1 C8 engine into a base. You probably could physically, but like, what are you doing? What are you doing? The C8 will beat the Z06 on gearbox alone. Damn. The pick from 2019, 6 years in the making for that engine setup. Wait, how do you know the pictures from 2019? I don't think I had that picture in 2019. There's no way I had that picture in 2019. But I'm like, did I? Storms look nasty on radar. Yeah, it's pretty bad here. But again, we're entering our rainy season. And this is it. Se acabó el party. Because a lot of you guys are wondering, why we shouldn't release videos. Our summer is your winter in the north, okay? Except it's hot. So we ain't going outside with our hot rods. We ain't doing shit. Maybe we can dyno some cars. That's why in the summertime, I would just dyno cars and do a lot of live streams. But a lot of you guys are outside in the summertime. Then in the wintertime, when you guys are inside looking at the live stream stuff, I'm outside racing and fucking around because it's cool outside. So it's the inverse of what happens in the north. Ford will probably just slap the Predator in their next big car and tell you it's a badass car with 700 horsepower. I now don't give a fuck what Ford does. Because the standard Chevy set, or the bar, is so high. Guys, 1,000 horsepower pump gas twin turbo car that runs 9s in the quarter mile and 230 miles an hour top speed? What the fuck does Ford have that anyone is going to even look in their direction? Ford had the attention of the whole car industry when they posted a time that can only be produced in fucking Germany that maybe a small niche of car guys would care about. The vast majority of Mustang owners are gay assholes. You understand? They'll buy a V6 that has a stripe kit, chrome wheels, they'll put louvers on it, right? Those guys care about Nürburgring times, but they'll rep in their V6 and they'll get GTD repops from American Muscle. Like, does American Muscle have GTD repops yet? Let me go check right now. Let me see if GTD replica wheels. Yeah. Coño! I'm telling you, bro. Modern Muscle wheels? Is that like American Muscle brand? So, whoa! Venom M7T, what the fuck? $3,800 for repops. So again, the guys that care about GTD Nürburgring times will buy these repops with their louvered up Mustang and you know, sit in the cuck chair while their wife gets banged out by the biggest guy on the planet. Like, nobody cares. At the end of the day, nobody cares. But I'm telling you, for whatever reason, they had the news cycle for a little bit, and the C8 Zr-1 come in, and nobody cares about the GTD anymore. Ford had a Ford GT and one of the best dual overhead cam engines to boost. Instead, they did a V6. They always missed the mark. I'm sorry. I am going to respectfully disagree, Headgames Motorworks. So the issue with the Ford GT engine is the stroke, right? You got piston speeds of like Mach 2. The stroke was just too crazy. It made a ton of torque, but it's not going to hold it. See, this is the hardest thing, and maybe you would appreciate this. This is the hardest thing to convince Shelby guys of. The Coyote is a better motor. Oh, it didn't make the torque, you make 1,000. The Coyote is a better motor. But you don't understand the torque. The Coyote is a better motor. When you look at the layout of the C8 Zr-1, it's dual overhead cam, twin independent variable cam timing, and 5.5 liters, right? Doesn't that really resemble like a slightly bigger cubed Voodoo? Because the Voodoo is flat plane crank, 5.2 liter, badass heads, badass cams. So let's say you punched it out a little bit, still crazy high revs, 8,200 RPM factory rev limiter. So what happens when you boost a GT350? Alex, it's not a Coyote. Asshole. The whole infrastructure is Coyote based. Okay? Coyote based is Predator, Voodoo, Gen 1, 2, 3, Coyote infrastructure. I can take a Voodoo head, put it on a Coyote. It's like LS3, gay, like you guys used to have that nomenclature. So the Ford GT probably would have been badass if they put a built Coyote in it. Like a forged Coyote. And if people didn't... So the 5.2 XS is a cross-plane Voodoo. Let's be honest. That's all it is. The 5.2 liter XS is a cross-plane Voodoo. So imagine you had a 10-to-1 compression 5.2 XS twin turbo something in a car. You don't think you can make 800, 900, 1,000 behind the asshole horsepower? What's behind the asshole horsepower? It's when you measure your dick behind your asshole and you go, I got a 12-inch penis. And it's like, no, you actually have like 3, but you have a lot of taint and asshole. So when I say measure horsepower from the spine, that means you're measuring it from a place that nobody gives a fuck about. It's about what you can put to the ground, aka the base. Do you know what I'm saying? Alex, long time follow, but I've been slacking here lately. Just hopped in. How's the Zr-1 Coyote swap going? So Jake is coming back from vacation next week. We're gonna we already have the CAD drawing for the flywheel. It's going to be pretty wild looking, but Jake, you know, got with his guy, got with everybody, and we're going to try to make it happen. I'm going to show you what it looks like. I think I showed you guys before what it looks like in CAD, but this is basically what the mating surface of the clutch is going to look like. Jake put it up on his design software, and it's already at the machine shop. Once the machine shop gets it, it's up to me to install it. And if I can install the clutch and get the spacing right, get the throwout bearing right, get everything right, and bolt everything in, it's ready for a turbo kit. Then it goes up to Lund Racing or whoever I have anyone contract out to make the twin turbo kit on that. And it'll basically be a front engine C6 version of the new Corvette. dual overhead cam, twin turbo. I'm not going to do pump gas shit in it. It's going to have locked cams, which might change. I might end up putting VCT back in it. And if Junior's like Alex, it's better to put VCT back in it. Stop fucking around. The only reason I'm leaving the locked cams in it because the cam position that is currently locked at is conducive to turbo cam timing. So if I can leave it there, have some chop, have it be semi-drivable, I'll leave it alone. But if it becomes an issue, I'll throw VCT in it, which is a big project. Ford GT should have had a Predator engine. EcoBoost was a bust. So yeah, okay, Headgames is on point. Headgames says, no, I mean, they should have done the Coyote. The 5.4 sucked. Those things would get fucked up on the street, even boosted. Just the way they made power suck. A Predator engine would have been great. I appreciate that. Yeah, a guy that knows as much about engines as you do, I was kind of surprised to hear that. But yes, you clarified it. And a Predator 5.2 twin turbo in a 3,500 pound rear engine. Someone needs to build that. The problem is they don't have the nannies, you know what I mean? And the crazy thing about the Zr-1, it seems to have boost by gear. According to that video, Camissa said that it doesn't even get full power till third gear, which is amazing. So that's the hard thing to beat about factory funding billion-dollar companies, that they can have access to this badass programming where from the factory, depending on the setting, you don't have full power until third gear. And I think that's what happened to the Revuelto, that once this thing hit full power and it hooked and the traction control was happy, it pulled that son of a bitch in so hard it wasn't even funny. So boost by gear, anti-lag. They have electronic wastegates to keep boost happy coming out of a turn. Like, this car is an engineering marvel, and you're going to get it for under $200,000. What's a Turbo S cost, right? What's a Turbo S, a brand new Turbo S cost? What's a GT2 RS cost? Hell, what's a GT4 RS cost? Zr-1 for $220,000, $30,000? In comparison, is a bargain. Wayne Unk in the chat. Now you asking questions I can't answer. Mini by Batman. We'll have to see when it actually comes out. LT7 swapped to C601. Yep, if it was already to get tuned. Yep, if it was ready to get tuned as of now, it would be great. Keep BCT, bro. You'll re-enable it anyway. We know you will. Look, I want to try stuff. The nice thing about me is I try things because I own the platform and I try things. I don't just say I'm the best tuner and had never owned the platform. That would be crazy. Imagine if I somehow become the best BMW tuner and have never driven a BMW. That would be sus as fuck, and you guys would be calling me on it. Hell yeah! Thanks for the update. Twin turbo speed sensors too. Alejandro Flores, JD Bruce said GM said it was investing $8.2 billion into a new V8. Well, they have to. Guy here has a Tahoe or Suburban with a 6.2, the ones that they recalled. And I said, hey, buddy, you know there's a recall on those. You might want to check into it. And he's like, there is? I go, yeah, they're giving you free engines, basically. They're not even trying to like say, hey, change your oil or go to a 30-weight oil. They're basically saying, come in for a new engine. Sure enough, 2 weeks later, he has a rental. And I'm like, what's up? He's like, you're right. They're going to replace my motor. And I'm like, maybe that's where the $8 billion goes. Yeah. Turbo S is a $230,000 base price. So, not even a gun to your head. What's a better car? A 99 whatever the fuck, 992? What is it, 992? Right? A 992 Turbo S or a CC8 ZR1? Oh, shit. A new Turbo S is low $200,000. There's no way the C01 is going to be under 200. I didn't say under 200, carajo. I'm just saying. What are you going to compare it against? Let's see. C801 MSRP. Again, that is S is suggested. 1 MSRP. 174 to 188. 174 to 184. But let's say fully loaded, king dick, big nuts. Todo bichote. You go all in. 200, let's say it's $220,000. Turbo S MSRP. A Turbo S starts at 230. A Turbo S starts at 230. A fully loaded King Dick 9-second Zr-1 230 mile an hour top speed is fully loaded, maybe, let's say same price. Fuck it. Same price. Which one are you getting? Look, motherfucker, I don't give a shit about the markup. What I'm saying is, if you both have MSRP, I'm going by MSRP. So if you want to chalk up or tack in the markup based on the dealer allocation of bullshit, it's going to be what, $300,000? Remember when Demon 170s were going for $100,000 over MSRP? I don't think you can get one anyway. And I think the only car that went up in value when it was used was the GT3 RS, which was interesting. And the next video that I drop on the Garage Man Cave series, it'll be probably Wednesday, because I'm going to hurry that along because the Porsche stuff was just such a dud. Like, no one cared about it. Nobody cared about it, which is interesting because I think those cars were technological marvels, and I thought they were wonderful. I thought they were great. I looked at the video and I'm like, this is badass. And you guys were like, meh, we don't care. We'd rather see a Fox body with a 225 horsepower, V8 with a B cam and Flowmaster 2 chambers. And I'm like, all right, fuck, I guess. I don't know what the hell I built here. De la performance, de la tune. Says, been a good tuner will dominate any platform. I learned to do VVTi tuning with the Mustang 4-cylinder class, and I don't even know the platform. Made my car get a lot. Cállate la boca, vete pa'l carajo. Vete pa'l carajo. Get the fuck out of here, embustero. You're telling me you have never owned the platform and you consider yourself a top-tier tuner? How would you know how the car's performing if you've never owned it? Well, somebody else tunes it. Bullshit. Not in the Coyote game. In the Coyote game, if you can make a 10R80 watt shift at 7,800 RPM on the money without any torque reduction, I know how much it took to get that file. You think, see, de la performance, you think whatever's in front of you is all that's available. No, you got to go into the matrix and pull parameters out. And you pull parameters out to make your car meet a certain outcome that you want. But if you just open HP Tuners, SET, Cobb, whatever they indexed, that is a quarter of what the actual programming has in the background. So just because you tuned a car, a 4-cylinder Mustang with VVTi, that doesn't hold a candle to Coyote stuff. Please stop it. People will never admit that Corvette is a better car than a Lambo, Ferrari, or Porsche for whatever reason. Almost likely 250 with markups. 600 to 700 wheel horsepower on the street is super fun. 1,000 plus is going to be dumb for a stick car. Any chance for another Fox body for YouTube content? So interestingly, yes, but it won't have a Coyote because you guys don't care. For whatever reason, the small block Ford Fox body got a lot of views, and I had a lot of fun with it. And I think there's a market now to bring old school stuff back in the Fox body specifically. Nobody cares about a stupid Falcon. Nobody cares about a Galaxy. Nobody cares. We're talking about Gen Z, Gen Z, Millennials, and Gen X, which is my wheelhouse. And those guys are Fox body people. So if you can show them that a Fox body gets after it with a small block Ford, that'd be cool. So I hit up the guy that showed me his cool garage, and I showed him this car. Let me see. Okay, X275 racing parts. So I was looking at this car. Not that I'm going to buy it. Dustin Granger. Okay, let's go to maybe I can help him sell it. X275 racing parts. And we're going to go to look for Dustin Granger. Is there a search? Yeah, there is a search. Dustin Granger. Oh, it knew who I was. Holy shit. Okay, this car caught my eye. Big time. Okay, so if I was going to have a Fox body in the channel, it'd be this car. So, guy's named Dustin Granger. 89 Mustang Coupe, driven 40,000 miles. 89 LX hatchback, 38,000 miles. Original paint. Mint interior. Flawless. 400 plus cubic inch stroker, 700 horsepower NA. Holley EFI dash runs on E85, narrow rear end suspension, aftermarket brakes, TKO 600 twin disc, brand new Alumistar wheels, etc., etc., etc. Cars everything, fun street car, exhaust tailpipes, run low tens on motor, cruise around with your kids in it. This is really nice street car. Now, I don't think it has AC. In Florida, you need AC, brother. But if I was going to get a Fox body, it would be something like this. Not this, but something like this, because it represents, I think, what the old school is. Small block Ford on Holley, thumping around 700 on E85, probably runs low 10, high 9 if you can get it to hook, and 60 good. That I would absolutely do something like that. The only reason I did a Fox body before is because I got a deal from Rob. And I know he probably felt bad about me selling it, but you know, once I tried to straight with 100 shots, se fue pa'l carajo. I watched Porsche's video, but I did enjoy the Fox video more. I am just special. Exactly. I don't need the platform to learn. No. I'm not saying you can't improve on a platform without driving it. But to be up here? No. You got to own the platform. You have to own it. I'll give you an example. Lund Racing had not owned a stock torque converter high horsepower car. Lund Racing had not owned a TVS 6R80 Gen 2. They had a manual. So the calibration, I want to say maybe 5 years ago or 4 years ago or maybe 6, they were back in Pennsylvania. And I remember this specifically. I would drive that platform all the time at Power by the Hour. I'd go for rides with them because I wanted to learn. So Power by the Hour was building all these badass cars. And then I would go over there and drive them and see them like, man, it does this, does that. So customers complained of a bog, like in third gear. That's what they call it, a bog. But what was happening was the torque converter schedule, depending on the torque converter, the schedule was making the car's RPM drop in third gear. So this is what would happen in a 6R80 Gen 2 car with a loose converter, with an old Lund tune, pre-17, I would think. Boo, boo, you know? And people would go, oh my God, how do we avoid that? So a car shows up at Lund Racing, and everybody drives it. Dakota, Brandon, me, and Junior. And Junior was like, yeah, we got to fix this. So Junior goes in there, moves the shift schedule, gets everyone's feedback, senior included. Everybody drove the car for days. And we all said, this should be the base. And now we call it, the Super Tune. And it's in your car. Don't worry, relax. It's been updated. It's in your car. But there's another file called the Super Tune that we developed based on that vehicle. Not owning the vehicle caused us to overlook how it was driving. Once we got our hands on the vehicle, we knew what the deal was. So unless you drive the vehicle and own it, you can only do so much. You misunderstood what I said, but okay, I'm talking about you probably can tune it good at BMW. Okay, you're definitely Hispanic because you're talking like Yoda. But thank you, De La Performance. I appreciate it, but I have no interest in tuning BMWs. I don't have interest in tuning. I barely have interest in tuning Mustangs. But I'm good at it. Look, don't ask me. Ask the guys. Don't ask me. Ask people I've fucked with if I can tune or not. I'm not going to tell you I'm a good tuner. That's weird. We could have had another S197. Damn it. Right. Did that guy sell it out from under you? Because a 351 base Fox body would be badass. How would you get your hands on a small block Ford these days? How do you get your hands on a small block Ford? I don't know. Like, in order for you to get yourself in a badass Fox body motor, you got to know 351 or a big inch Windsor. You got to know somebody to know somebody. Or if you don't know nobody, you're probably going to overpay to the tune of $5,000 to $6,000 over what you should have paid to have a good one built. So, Craig Walls, you're here. You have people that you know can build good motors. I don't. And again, the layman, to the layman, to let's say I have a Cobra kit car sitting there. I'm like, I want a 700 horsepower on race gas. It's okay if it's solid roller and I got to check the valves every 3 miles. I want it to be stout. This bitch is stout. Who the fuck do I go to? That isn't going to fuck me. Like, imagine you're getting into the GT500 game right now. Could you imagine right now in 2025, June, you get into the GT500 platform, 5458, and you know there's only maybe one good engine builder for them, and he does it whenever the fuck he feels like, which is probably AccuFab. Oh, somebody got shot. Or the power's out. So it's probably AccuFab. Oh, yeah. Someone's dead. A lightning hit someone. Killed them. Dead as fuck. Bro, you're in here. Shut off the fucking sirens. There's no fucking traffic. Shut off the fucking sirens, dickhead. There's no traffic. It's literally a complex. So it's probably AccuFab. Everybody else can suck the fattest cock. Imagine you're getting into that platform. Imagine you're getting into that platform. You are gonna get fucked. Don't you dare start doing Fox body content, Theo. I got enough competition already, says CCW Fox. Yep, that thing reps 90s all day. What you're saying, viewer? Okay. Post a link to that car. Yeah, okay. I'll do that. Here we go. I'll post a link. But you got to be a member of the X275 group. If you're not a member of that group, ain't gonna see shit. He wants 28.5. 28.5 for a low 10-second E85 Holly equipped Fox. Come on. It wasn't even turned on, brother. Here you go. So if you're part of that group, there's the link, and you can go ahead and buy that car out from under me. And there you go. People who don't own the platform, pay people, post good things on Facebook forums for them. Look, I'm blown away how people judge tuning. Some people think a good tuner is up at 3 a.m. helping a grudge NA guy win a race for $300. A good tuner is up at, 4 a.m. and some guy in Louisiana is racing on Nitro, and he put up his rent money to race another NA guy. That's what you say a good tuner is? If that's a good tuner, I am happy to say I'm not a good tuner. Building Daily says, the 4GT content was good, gold, Alex. I was 20 years old when it came out and had no chance of getting one, so I live vicariously through rich people. And this guy's not rich. Well, he works hard. I'm not going to say what he does for a living, but he seems to be on the up and up. Tick says, I'm going to be like, I want the Super Tune Monday. There is no Super Tune. It's labeled that way, which became the base file for all those cars. He never got back with you. Yeah, I figured Bryson Whip. Gonna get new Man of War small block Ford block. Stupid tourists on the beaches during a lightning storm. Typical Florida. Anyone in the chat, could you tell me if there's a noticeable difference between 333 355s on MTD2 and bro got a 1-1 in the hood for real? Kyle Loftus says, if you want content where you have gay stuff, hit me up. A nice Fox body is $20,000 plus nowadays. A nice Fox body is $30,000 and up nowadays. A nice Fox body is big fucking money. Amazon, what the fuck is Amazon delivering? Oh, I I forget I buy stuff. I wanted black hose clamps. Hey, yo. And I got some black hose clamps. No viewer. Joe Swift says to no viewer. Fourth will still run out past 160, 373s, get a 409 or 456. I'll tell you this about an hour ago, brother. Yeah, we talked about the MT84 D2 and the MT84 1117 Mustang version. Some people in the comments are just retarded, and they say the dumbest shit. They're like, well, boosted 331. When I say the best feeling transmission, MT82, 11 to 17. But for whatever reason, it goes in through some retard's ear. It gets put through his dumbass filter, and then he's like, what about when it boosted? No, dickhead. Overall, feeling. I didn't say with a 28-inch tire on 331s at 500 real horsepower. No, that is being super specific. When I speak in very general terms. I'm not going to be here to speak specifics because I don't know what you like. Craig Walls, who I asked about the small block Ford engine guy, he goes, my engine guy is very fair and closet at small block Ford guy. See, you didn't answer my question. as a layman, if you had no idea who to go to, who would you have built your small block Ford that is stout, 700 horse on E85, 460 cubic inch, thumping sounding like an F-Cam? For those that know. Like Prestige Motorsports? Like, who do you go to? DSS? Like, there's probably a guy right now who's like, I'd like to get into this Ford game. Let me see what the deal is. A Fox Body Ford game, small block Ford. DSS. No, let me look into them. Whoa, a 308? That's 450 horsepower for $3,700? Sign me up. And I'm like, bro, that don't even buy the heads. So because small block Ford is expensive stuff. So then, that guy sees the Muscle Mustangs and Fast Fords pages, Ford Muscle, and then they're like, whoa, $3,800, $3,900, $4,000. And then he's like, let me get a motor built. And he starts getting quotes from motor builders, and they're like, well, if you want something to make 700 wheel, E85, you need solid roller, you need, Billy Bat, it's not going to be street friendly, it's not going to be pump gas friendly. Nah, I'm going to run on E85, fuck all that pump gas shit. Okay, carburetor, EFI, Holly, okay, cool. It'll be $28,000. You're like, DSS is only $3,700. Then get a DSS. Would it be cheaper in the long run to just Coyote? Swap it. If someone asks for the Super Tune, just send their file back and watch, claim it's faster. I've done that many times. Race. Every time I send an E85 tune, I go, E85 tune attached. Get me a log. Get to log. Looks good. Hey, the car's done. Have fun. What about the race tune? Then you look at the mod list. 17, stock manifold, stock exhaust, stock cats, E85. What the fuck? Who are you racing? You're currently tuning my ESS setup, and my God, everyone should jump straight to boost on these Coyotes. I don't know why people bother with the NA game. Why do you bother with the NA game? You want to be disappointed? You want to get beat by a 20-year-old with a ESS 10R car? You want to spend $29,000 to $30,000 on a motor that's supposedly dyno's big power NA, only to put it on your car and have it make what a stock Coyote makes on 8 PSI? Why are we doing this? Why are we fucking with NA Coyote stuff? NA Coyote game is whack shit. Whack shit. If you were to say to me, Alex, if you're going to build an NA anything, what would it be? I don't know, big block Chevy or a fucking small block Ford. Or an LS or LT, big cubic inch. Not a Coyote. Come on, stop it. Would you consider putting a BMW DCT cutter? No, fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. A DCT in a drag car? Why would I do that? Names and addresses. What does carajo have to do? Big Daddy Patty says, same thing in my industry. People think a good plumber is someone who charges $85 and 2 weeks later shit's leaking. Not the guy with the license who charges $800, but you're good for years. Tell me or I'm going to sell it, says Moonjar Done It. Bennett Racing, DeSoma, etc. Ford, Strokers, Bischoff. Joe Switch says, dude, I tried to explain this to the Facebook group, and then the D4 people were like, well, I don't see the problem. I had to understand people won't realize the problem until they see the solution. Come on, Alex. Triviati is the king of the small block Fords. De La says, even though you lit me up, I still fuck with you, bro. I'm not gonna light you up. You said something that I've been railing against for a while. I would never get into a platform that I don't own and then say I'm a good tuner. But I understand what you're saying, that if I get my hands on a BMW, but again, I got to get my hands on a BMW, meaning I got to own it. I would personally never tune a car I haven't driven or owned. Now, what do I tune at Lund Racing that I have never owned? Junior handles the GT500s, but Lund Racing has owned a GT500. I own a 14 GT500. I own a GT Gen 1 auto. I have owned a GT Gen 1 manual. I have owned a Gen 3 S550. Two of them, 18 and 19. manual. I have owned an automatic S550, the red car. Rest in peace, dead dad in the trunk. All right. I've owned an F-150. I've owned a Coyote swap 6R80 car. I've owned a race 5.8 turbo 400 car. I think I got everything covered. The only thing I haven't owned was a 2018 and up 10R80 Mustang, but the Lunds owned it, and I've driven it, and I just was severely unimpressed. And they own the world's first Gen 3 with a 6R80 Motec. Let's not get that twisted before people make claims. Lund Racing currently owns a running, driving Gen 3 Mustang DI Delete with a 6R80 in it. So before you claim anything, let's get the record straight. Everyone is stuck in the past. They haven't bought a new engine in decades, so they complain on the price. Paul Garcia. Neil Mustang said his builder has a serious motor. I think 427 that'll hold 1,500 for 18 grand. Nothing is cheap. 18 grand is cheap. Ford 300 turbo for the win. 500 something run to get got by any Camaro. You're not wrong. Look, the worst thing you could build is a naturally aspirated Coyote. If you wanted to make 700 rear wheel horsepower, you will have to rev it over 9. It's a die grinder. A die grinder has no torque. So you have to rev it to kingdom come to be able to use it properly. Think of a Coyote engine as a fucking die grinder. It is all RPM, no torque. So you have to now rev it to 9,000 RPMs to make that 700 wheel on nitro, or the car has to be so light that you can get away with low 700s, high 600s, and run a halfway decent number. Who is that impressing if you got to Swiss cheese up a new car to be able to make your NA Coyote run a number? Now, in Outlaw trim, can an NA Coyote run 8? Yes, but the car weighs 100 pounds or whatever the fuck it does. So the worst thing you could build, the worst return on investment is an NA Coyote. By far. Because at 10 PSI, you can run a full weight car on pump gas well into the 10s. Stop it. Greg Matson says, too much Mustang chinga chinga. Go back to the C8 Zr-1 fanboying. Less West Palm, more Palm. Whatever that is. Remember when everyone used to fuck with Nitrous in the late 90s, early 2000s in their Fox, and now no one does on the Coyote anymore because Okay. There is a direct correlation between knowledge, engine knowledge, and what you run as a power adder. ESS kits are popular because they're easy. Put it on. I'm stupid and I did it in 8 hours. Beginning to end, tuning included. Put it on, and as long as you got everything plumbed properly, you now have a 700 rear horsepower car. Nitrous attracts people that are broke and don't know much about cars. On Coyotes. Every other platform I don't care about. Oh, I can 200 shot for $2,600? Count me in. Here you go, tuner, tune it. Okay, send me logs without nitrous. Okay, here you go. Vaya con Dios. Oh, it's running weird. Ain't my shit. What's your bottle pressure? Bottle pressure? I don't have a gauge on it. Okay, well, what shot are you running? Did you pill it properly? What plugs are you running? What's the plug gap? Because the tuner can only do so much tuning. Nitrous is highly dependent on the end user. So I think Nitrous, in my opinion, unless you got a big block something running a two-stage Nitrous setup with like the first one being 500 and the second one being 800, you shouldn't run Nitrous. You own a 10R80 F-150. Surely it's not that much different than a Mustang. Yeah, you're right. It pretty much the same thing, except the programming language is a little different. Black Bean is one of my favorites. Yeah, that's badass shit. Motec Gen 3 6R. You could imagine a 400 hub with it. No. Second gear leave, 355s, be good. We have guys that have been with 6R80s running low 7s, so we're okay. Perfect analogy. Yeah, 9,000 RPMs, 50 to 1 compression, right, and 400 pound-feet of torque. But most people can't afford boost. Then why are you in this game? If you can't afford boost, you think NA is cheaper? Do you think NA is cheaper? See, if you want to make 500 robo horsepower, you don't need to do shit to a Coyote except cams, good heads, good fuel, and good induction. Stock bottom end. Stock bottom end. But then, if you want to make 600, oh, buddy. Fuck, we got to rev this bitch up to the moon, and the stock bottom end probably won't take it. So that means you need a very well-balanced setup. You need a very stout rotating assembly. You need really high compression. You need pretty wild cams. You need good springs, good heads, good valves to be able to spin it up at 90, 92, 9300. And then you're going to eke out 590 wheel horsepower. And the cost between 500 robo horsepower and 600 robo horsepower NA is like $15,000. Not worth it. Not worth it. Fucking Shambach says, to do nitrous safe and consistent, it's a pain in the ass, nor is it easy. Mufflet says, super impressive to see an NA car can be slower with 5-to-1 stoic fuel, which requires more fuel system than boosted. Nitrous shattering stock piston since 1990. Why Coyote race if you can't afford boost? I was redundant. It's not easy or cheap. Only impressing the all-motor Honda guys. When I see guys talk all-motor, I just quit. I had a guy that was telling me, Alex, what's it take to make a Gen 1 Coyote NA go into the sixes, quarter mile? And I'm like, 15 PSI. He's like, no, I'm talking about NA. I'm like, 14 PSI, 15 PSI, maybe 13, depending on how much the car weighs. And he's like, no, you don't get it. I go, no, you don't get it. What I'm telling you is to go sixes boosted is infinitely cheaper than to go sixes in the quarter mile NA on a Coyote specifically. The other platforms have an advantage because they have cubic inches, 400 plus cubic inches on these cars. So you're like, how am I going to complete with a car that automatically comes with 400 cubic inches, a 10-speed? There are a cam, fuel, and maybe more compression. Like imagine you had in front of you an LT or an LS something, and you were able to do on both engines 14-to-1 compression, ridiculous cam, solid roller, and then the whatever you want to put on the Coyote. And the cost is probably $5,000 or $6,000 more on the Coyote, and the LS, LT, small block Ford, small block Chevy of the similar build is probably a second quicker just because of fucking size. Don't even bother building a NA Coyote. It's weird. If what you mean by NA is cheaper is bolt-ons and Swiss cheesing, then yes, is cheaper. NA fastest way to go, broke, and have no daily driver. Headgames Motorworks, you just have to hate money to build NA. This is Headgames Motorworks. He's responsible for porting BMW, 2J, RB, 4G, Coyote, Voodoo, Predator. He's seen it all. And let me ask you a question. Headgames Motorworks, based on what you've seen, based on the cylinder heads and stuff, which platform is the most expensive to get into and you get the least out of? So let's say Coyote is probably up there, NA. But in general, you don't have to do anything to a Coyote motor to run 8s. You just have to put boost and fuel. And people don't believe me. And then I got a guy out there with twin turbos running 860. And I'm like, dude, you'd be worried. You should be worried that this thing's going to fling around. He goes, I don't care. I want to go 820s, 830s. And I'm like, damn, this is a stock motor. He goes, stock motor, bro. I'm now experiencing some valve flow. And I'm like, don't do anything to the cams. Don't do anything to the valves. Don't do anything to the springs. Work on the hot side. He's like, yeah, I'm going to do that because it's T4 and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, cool. So I guarantee this guy is going to end up going 20s or 30s if he reconfigures his turbo kit just slightly, just to lessen the back pressure. He's going to put a back pressure sensor in it. He's going to alleviate the crankcase pressure into a big puke kit. I'm like, this guy's doing it right. So which platform would you say has the least return on investment out of all of them? 4G, RB, 2J, Coyote, S28, B58, all that stuff. I can't believe I'm even mentioning K series, B series. I can't. 5 years ago, I wouldn't even know what the fuck that is. But this channel has forced me to learn that shit. Don't race if you can't afford boost, juice, boost, just cruise. Dale Earnhardt said something the other day that I laughed about. I thought for the longest time, NASCAR, that you can actually make money. I'm like, oh, he's got a big Mountain Dew sticker on the side, or he's got a, M&M sticker on the side, or he's got a Exalta, or he's got a Viagra car. I'm like, wow, okay. You go, there ain't no money in racing. You think you're going to build a car and go out there racing to make money? Ain't no money in racing. I'm like, there's no money. Wow, so what is it? Just advertising? Sixes, what the fuck? NA? Yeah, right. He needs 966. Okay, guys, when I say sixes, please understand that's 8th mile. Because the poorest guys run 8th mile. Please, guys, understand. The poorest guys run 8th mile. I thought it was implied, but there is no poor son of a bitch that runs 8th mile. You want to talk about the poorest guy on the planet? An 8th mile NA racer is the poorest guy on the planet. He'll say he's got money. He'll show you he's got money. What's the name of that guy who did the rap? He's broke now. I saw this clip and I lost it. Let me see. I'm like, is he a grudge racer? Yeah. So there's this guy. This guy. This is every grudge racer, probably somewhere in Louisiana, right? Who's got an NA car. And this is how they act.
Pack extra slappy. Don't I love my vegetable, extra cheese and broccoli? Don't.
Okay. 20, 40, 60, 1, 2, 3. Okay. 20. So the 80, 80, 20, 20, 20, 20. 81 to $83. Every grudge NA racer at an 8th mile track at 3 in the morning somewhere in Alabama, Louisiana, or Georgia.
Pack extra slappy. Don't I love my vegetable, extra cheese and broccoli? Don't young lay like the kick like karate. Don't I be with J-Man serving everybody.
Don't I be the baddie, be the serving everybody.
Kick like karate. Don't I be with J-Man serving everybody.
Man. Oh, bro. Damn, he showed them. And a racer in Louisiana. Pockets extra sloppy. Don't be the job until the serving everybody. Stupid. Stop it. Stop racing with your bullshit. You're broke. Shut up. And a racing bullshit. Pockets extra sloppy. Don't be the JB. But if Headgames and Alex don't care about racing, that should tell you everything that you need to know. I don't know why you guys give a fuck about racing. You hate money. Don't you be... You hate money if you like racing. All motors expensive everywhere. Heads cam set up on an LT is $6,000, and you still need a converter. Other mods. Jacob says, I believe NA racing is down to who has the biggest displacement. Whoa. Basically said what I said. An 8th mile. It's not as bad as everyone says. RB is the worst. So much money to do anything. And 1J for NA stuff. The Coyote is the worst investment in my opinion. Oh, bro. Bro got less than $100 in that clip. Jordan Stanga says, Alex, I just watched your oil pump gear video. What about the 19350 oil pump gears? Is there anything I need to be worried about? Look, if you want insurance, mira, cuando tú vas a meter, tú tienes la opción. O me pongo un condón o no me lo pongo. Si no te lo pones, puede ser que te decida. Si te lo pones, o caiga preña. Si te lo pones, estás protegido. O te pones un condón, o no te pones un condón. Oil pump gears, stock oil pump gears. And they bumping in NA, yellow belly everywhere. Spent all his money on crag bars. He's heading right to K. Oh, wow. Love when people flex more money than can count. Chase is a race mentality. Hold on. Look at here. Chase, it. Every single time I hear you guys talk about grudge racing NA stuff, this is what I hear in my head.
Whenever I jerk off, I think of that one time Big Chief bent over to adjust his wheelie bar, and I saw a little bit of his ass crack. Man, if that bull ever let me ride his junk, he'd never know. Now, looky here. These be them rules for the race. Number 1, jump and I eat your ass. Number 2, the chase is anal sex. And 3, if you jump, we come in your booty hole. Who's in? Am I the only one that gets a hard-on when Dominator races? I mean, those blue eyes are to die for. Man, I'll race you. How about this bet? If I win, I suck your dick. If I lose, I suck your dick twice. I know Ryan has all that fancy shit, but I know I can beat him on the street, because I'm more street up. Now, here in the South, we do it a bit different than you Yankees. Here, buy-in is showing me your dick. And depending on the size, girth, and veins determines the run order. Winner gets my ass. Are you man enough to run me? Line up, pussy. I bet you won't race me without clothes on. One time, Sean farted on a chair, and I ran over and sniffed it because I'm more streeter than him.
That's you NA guys. Goofy NA behavior. Stop it. Please, please, please. Stop it. Oh, brother, you just reminded me of something, bro. So, last week, let me get the comments. Thank you, Headgames, Motorworks, RB people, hate money. That guy's M.R. big bumbleclot. I think I have Nardi. I think I did Nardi AI M.R. Let me see. Hold on. It might get copyrighted, so you only hear it live. Where the hell is it? Let me see. I think I have Nardi singing M.R. Nardi dot. Let's see. M dot. J dot. I think I have Junior. This is Junior singing M.R.
Big bumbleclot, spliff a bus in me head.
No, I think I had Nardi. Nardi, let me type in Nardi. Nard. Dude, do you know how many songs I have? You know how many songs I have of just like everyone at the office with just songs? Let me see. Hello. Wow, I have so... Nardi's the best because he has the best voice. I got Nardi's November Rain, Nardi, but no, Lincoln Nardi, Busta Nardi. Busta Nardi.
Yo.
Wait, let me get to the lyrics.
Yo.
Okay.
Jack, go your hands up in the air, don't have a disrespect wall. Oh, that you all attack.
Dude, I love making these. Starboy, warning, Nardi has, wow. Nardi WAP, wet ass pussy. From the, let's get to it.
Ass pussy, bring up fucking in a mouth, put this sweet ass pussy.
So I have so many. I thought I had M.R in there. No, I don't. You don't get the heart. Yeah, right. You don't got the heart to run me all the way down. You don't got the heart to run me right into traffic. You want to race me? Why don't you run me against traffic, pussy? Huh? Well, that seems kind of dangerous. You don't got the heart to race me against traffic, bitch. You're right. Oh, my God. I know it's JJ. Right. We went from $200,000 C8 Zr-1s trying to flex with $83. What is happening? Don't you think the pocket door, they're extra sloppy? Don't you be like Jabe? I'm going to make that a sound clip. Let me, pockets, extra sloppy. Yeah, I think I'm going to make this a sound clip.
Extra sloppy. Don't I love my vegetables, extra cheese and brown.
Don't I love my vegetables? Extra cheese with broccoli?
Don't young lay like to kick like karate.
Don't young lay like to kick like karate.
Don't wanna be with J Money serving everybody.
Don't wanna be with J Money serving everybody. Is there more to this?
Yeah. Got to know the boy, future is the aim.
Oh man, what a fall off. I mean, boy, stupid. Don't it be Okay. It sounds like Microsoft Sam. I had an NA guy saying he was catching up after I hit the brakes. Is there one about senior sliding on the ops? I never have. So the AI has trouble processing senior's voice. But Devin, Nardi, and Junior, wonderful. Like, wonderful. Especially Warning with Nardi. Let's get right to it because it's going to copyright my shit.
Wow, it's my nigga.
Come on, everybody!
Who the fuck is this? Paging me at 5:46 in the morning. Crack of dawn and now I'm yawning.
Come on, stop it. I could play all of them. They're great. I have gigabytes of songs here. That's what you remind. Oh! Thank you. Jesus, see, I get way off tangent. So we FLKA sold some suspension to an F-150 guy. So the F-150 guy has a rear wheel drive F-150. Rear wheel drive. So if you're making any kind of power with an F-150, rear wheel drive only, non-4-wheel drive, you're going to have trouble hooking, right? So this dumb, not the owner, the suspension idiot that sold him the suspension says, oh, your truck's not hooking from a 40 roll? Well, have your tuner pull timing. Have your tuner pull timing so it can hook on the street. Junior was like, put weight in the bed. What happens if you buy $3,000 to $4,000 in suspension parts and then this guy says, tell your tuner to pull timing. And then your tuner goes, put 100 pounds in the bed. Then you go, then why the fuck did I buy your suspension? So that you could tell me that my tuner has to now make adjustments. I thought your suspension took care of it. That's the reason I bought your suspension, asshole. But no. Hand the bag over to the tuner. Don't you see the days every day? So hand over the bag to the tuner. Here you go. Fucking lower timing. And tuner's like, put bags in the trunk. And then you're like, did I need your suspension at all? I had trouble hooking from a 40 roll. You told me to buy your shit. I bought your shit. I put it in. It don't work. And then you tell me, oh, yeah, the tuner's got a lower timing. Tuner's like, just throw bags in the trunk. I throw bags in the bed and the bitch hooks. You guys keep on that bullshit. You guys keep buying that bullshit. I'm going to keep talking that shit because you guys need to understand that ballast is like 90% of what most of you guys need, especially if you never hit the track. Now it sounds like the peasant chat. Deal, you song goes hard though, can't lie. I think I got more. I'm trying not to get I got Starboy. Nardi Starboy. Nardi Starboy's great.
Police to mower smoother. P1 cleaner than your church shoes.
I have a system that's so good. Let me see if I got Junior here. Junior. Be my lover, Dope Man? Dope Man? Dope Man, Junior? I was on a roll that day.
Can't say nothing but a slow talk. Matter where don't, that's the name of the game. Young brothers getting over by slanging cane. And don't allow this night your fault to gay. Had the breakfast clocking on the dick
24/7. Oh, come on. Stop it. I do that just for me. They said he got $83 from donating plasma. Don't you see the phones, everybody? Pockets extra sloppy.
Extra sloppy.
Pockets extra sloppy.
Don't I love my vegetables, extra cheese and broccoli.
You want to race NA? Head up.
Lay like the kick, like karate.
8th mile.
Don't be with J-Money.
Serving everybody. Stupid. You stupid, all y'all. I know FLKA very well. Tune the wheel, spin out tuner. Dude got say I added 100 horsepower. He doesn't hook now. It says fucking shit. Need Master P. I don't think I have Master P. Yeah, of course Junior heard this. BYOB. What's BYOB? So I had System of a Down. Oh, it's too loud. It's just way too loud. Be My Lover? Oh, Be My Lover.
night and nobody might have be minding nobody.
I only play like 2 or 3 seconds, so it doesn't get copyrighted. So I got Calm Down, which is the Busta Rhymes Eminem song. True, Chop Suey by Junior. Chief Keef, Forgot About Dre, Junior. Junior Wayne, I don't know, but I got Devin. I did a lot on Devin. I'm trying to get Corey's voice and Parker's voice on so I can actually clone it. Put a ring on it. Let me see. Since you've been gone, Devin.
But quit yelling, got I can't win it all the
I think I got I'm Just a Girl. This is Devin singing I'm Just a Girl.
I'm exposed and it's not meant to brightest.
I love it. Oh, fuck. Dope Man Jr. Do Machine Gun Funk. Talk about someone faking it till you make it. Of course they heard this. Again, I haven't cloned Senior's voice. Would you buy a 19 GT with 120,000 miles for $23,000? Clean one owner, fully option? Yes, because if the motor goes to shit, the short block is $4,500. A new timing gear set is probably $700, and then a refresh of the heads is at most $2,000. So you can get a new-ish motor for about $6,000, and you have a Gen 3. As long as the Gen 3 is happy and suspension is good and trans, and yeah, I would buy it. Hey Alex, what type of boost controller do you recommend for twin turbo 15 manual trans Hellion? Thank you, sir. I would do boost leash because it's like intermediate. Cortex interface is weird according to what I hear. Boost leash I've had marginal success with personally with a Hellion Gen 2. AMS 1000 is trying to cater to the boost leash crowd, so they might be releasing something or giving you kind of like a pared down AMS controller, but the 2000 is super advanced. Don't even touch a 2000. It's super advanced for you guys. I was not ready for that. Senior needs one. That intro of Junior for Be My Lover was fire. Would be better off buying a Gen 2 or built Gen 1 for not much more. No, I think Gen 3 would be, he deleted the comment. I think Gen 3 would be fine. I think he'd be okay. Gen 3 high miles. Gen 3 is good, man. It's high compression. It's new, so forget the miles, because let's say I had a Gen 3 and I drove it to California 5 times and didn't beat on it. It was mostly highway miles. That car is less beat than a 40,000 mile car that drag races all the time and beats it. You know, so I'd rather get a higher mileage car. That's newer, that people didn't really beat the crap out of too much. Barbie Girl. So I got Barbie Girl from Devin. Yeah, I'm a Barbie girl.
Stacking card things. She's fantastic. You can embrace my girl. I'm definitely everywhere.
This whole episode's probably going to get copyrighted. What else I got? Nardi. I got Nardi. Nardi's the best voice by far. Oh, TikTok from Nardi.
Wake up in the morning feeling like Pete Dodo girl. Glasses round the door. I'm gonna hit it in the city.
Then he gets into it. Like, gets into the song.
In bed. I'm talking about you on our toes. Try them out all our clothes.
The AI is amazing. So this is what I do. For those of you that want to know how I do that. So whatever song you want, you go to YouTube and you type in acapella. So whatever song you want, let's say it's Benny Mardones, Into the Night, which I have, or anything. Pony, like I have Pony by Genuine, Nardi singing it. So say Genuine Pony acapella, and then you come out and it's just the voice, isolated. You download that track using a clip converter, probably from Reddit or something, a free converter that you just donate. So then you now have the voice only of Genuine. You take that clip and you load it into 11labs.io. It has to be under 5 minutes long. So 11labs.io, put the clip there, then type in voice changer and choose which voice you clone. You should have already cloned voices so that you can choose from. So I have Junior, Devin, Nardi, Brandon, and Dakota, but they don't work there no more, so I don't use them. And then you literally do that. It then converts the voice from genuine or whatever to your cloned voice. Then you get back to YouTube and you type in Pony instrumentals. And then you overlay them on software and you play it. I have it down to a science where it's super, super quick, you know? So let's get to it.
Let's do open up ritual. I promise that you won't want to get all your phone there. Let's do it. Riding my pony.
So it's okay, Jesus Christ. Nardi was very excited. He was like a couple of octaves high. Again, this whole episode might be copyrighted, so who cares at this point? It's fun. It's fun. So yeah, Matt Greeny, bingo for a while now. Ian says, oh my God, Coyote Kelly, can we get Kyle's voice? No, I don't want to give that guy any rep. Fuck that guy forever. We talked about it a couple of times about how they've been shoving dicks on people. Now they got a guitar pick with the word dick on it so that they can put a dick pic on your car. I'm good. I'll pass on all that. So we'll see if this episode airs. If you saw it live, congratulations. If you didn't, well, too bad. It'll probably be ridiculously edited to the point where you're like, I don't even know what's happening. Why is there just huge gaps of stuff in there? So, I'm going to try to make this thing a sound clip for sure.
Crack extra slidey. Don't I love my vegetable, extra cheese and broccoli. Don't young lay like the kick like karate. Don't be with J Money serving
everybody. Grudge Racers in Louisiana talking like that guy. All right, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. Can you do me over the Meek clip? This clip? Oh, you know what? I could probably do that. I could probably change the voices here. I'm going to do that right now, not live, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that clip and change the voice on it to see. Just to see what it sounds like. All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Today we talked about the Zr-1. The Zr-1 is probably the C8 Zr-1 is the best ICE car ever built. It's probably going to be in the $200,000 range and compete against Hypercars, 260, 9.5 in the quarter, 230 mile an hour top speed. How can you beat a 5.5 liter dual overhead cam twin turbo car, mid-engine, that is USA built, competing against Revueltos, SF90s, and other hypercars of its ilk? Pretty badass, and in my opinion, to this date, the best ICE car ever built, seems to be. So we'll see what happens with the Zora, with the all-wheel drive version, and we'll see if it can go like 1.9 to 60 and maybe 930 or 920 in the quarter. It's going to be a little ridiculous. Have a good rest of your Sunday. I'll see you guys back on Tuesday, and I'll be back on Thursday. I'm going to start doing live streams again because you guys, the views are up, the subs are up. Money's down. So it's minutes watched that matter. So I'll be back on doing 3 live streams a week and still trying to get you as much video as possible. Have a good rest of your Sunday. I'll see you guys on Tuesday for Talking Shit Tuesday. See you guys later. Bye.